What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 30th episode. The 30th episode of the Hot Takes podcast. So happy for you guys to be here tonight. I hope you are feeling well in these times right now. In these trying times. For our 30th episode, I am so happy to reintroduce my co-host who hasn't been with us in so long. It feels like forever.
I am back.
Luke Ganz, thank you for being here once again. How we doing?
I am. I'm happy to be back. I don't have my Nerf gun, so I don't have the opportunity to take Joe down a couple times. But
yeah.
I'm excited to be back. This has been a long time coming. So let's do it up.
Let's do it. And as always, my co-host, we do have a camera on him. Not my co-host, my cameraman, sorry. We do have a camera on him tonight, Joe Critelli. How we doing, my man?
I almost just stole this kid's spot. I'm doing all right, though, Frankie. I feel like I'm bugging out about the coronavirus thing a little more than I should. Like, I feel perfectly fine. I feel like everyone I know feels perfectly fine, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I can't really comprehend the scope of this yet. I don't think any of us can.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that I kind of keep going back to and alluding to is like media now is so much more impactful than it's ever been in ever. Like it has never been to this extent. And I think the big thing is like I keep hearing rumblings in my job. I like work in like New York City, and like you have all the old school people that have worked in the corporate level forever. Like back when like all these other diseases had just come out, there wasn't enough media coverage to this degree where it was blowing things up.
Right.
So I think it more becomes the whole issue of like, look at what we're looking at. I read a stat the other day that said 11.1 billion comments about this have been made in the news. Like, that number is absurd.
Yeah.
Then they compared it to like every other like AIDS, HIV, SCAR, like all these other things. Ebola was one of the things up there, swine flu, and each one of those had like 11 million comments, 13.5 billion. That's like all time. Mm-hmm. So for this to already be at 11 billion or whatever number it is now and surpassed all these things that have been around for so long,
yeah,
I think it's that like we are as a society so, I want to say we're so susceptible to just like looking at a thing, like, I mean, look at our parents. Like, what do our parents do when they see a Facebook thing? Yeah. Immediately it's real, right? Immediately. Yeah. Like, even some of the generation we live in, immediately it's like, oh, I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know, think back to those times where, like, you hear that this happened and then you go back and you find out, oh, well, no, that didn't actually happen. It went this way. But it's not now about the quality of what's going out there. It's about who does it first, how many views you have.
Yep.
That's all that matters. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the problem with it. I've spoken to a lot of people just in casual conversation that have brought up the whole comment of the main overarching situation is like in the United States, I think there's only like 1,000 to 2,000 confirmed cases.
Right.
So when you do that math, there's not that many because obviously, like you get it, like imagine how many Americans there are. There are a ton. But our biggest problem is it's spreading so fast.
Yeah.
But what I was telling Joe on the way in here, it seems like the problem with it, or not really the problem, is like we are getting told that the death rate is high for it. Yeah. And I'm not discounting the fact that people have lost their lives for it and like people have died from it. But what I spoke to the nurses and the doctors and the people that I just have, again, they're just people I have conversations with that I know from a gym and from a this and from that. The big overarching thing they keep saying is like, this will be bad for a little bit, but it's more that like we're focusing too much on the fact that the number of diagnosed cases, it's really a lot more. Mm-hmm. So the death rate, if it's, let's say there's only been how many people, 30 people that have died out of 2,000. That death rate seems not as big as you'd think it is. You're like, okay, well, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But then you go and you say, okay, well, that 2,000, it's probably closer to 10,000, and a lot of people just don't know right now.
Yeah.
So the problem becomes is that number is so close, but it's just because it's something that's so undiagnosed because you could go 2 weeks without knowing you have it. And I don't think it helps that right now, like it's the tailwind of flu season as well as allergy season.
Exactly.
Like right around now, usually every year, I get a stuffy nose and a sore throat. So
Right.
immediately I'm paranoid and I'm like, well, I've got it. Like, it's whatever. And, and I commute in and out of the city all the time. And I'm like, now I'm wearing a mask and I'm doing things like that to try to help. And it's crazy. But, it's just insane to think what the social media impact has had to this extent to make it to what it is.
How many people have you been seeing wearing masks in the city, especially like commute-wise?
I think... Look, there's always been a person on the train with a mask. It's always been like that one person, even before this was an issue.
Yeah, right.
But I would say now, obviously, you have more. But the biggest thing that I keep seeing from it is, like, you're not supposed to wear a mask. Like, apparently it doesn't
help.
Look, I'm hearing that it does. I'm hearing that it doesn't. Again, it goes back to the whole, like, what is right, what is wrong.
Yeah.
I've actually, my girlfriend's dad bought me one. And the mask that he bought me was just one of the regular masks that you would do for painting, but it has a breathing apparatus. It has like a little filter at the end of it.
Yeah.
So it helps a little bit more with what it's blowing out,
sure.
taking in. Mm-hmm. And again, dude, look, there's so little amount of people on the path and onto this and onto that now. Like, normally I get on the path, I'll never get a seat. Never. I'm always standing. I'm always holding on to something, leaning up against something. This week, I've gotten a seat every day. Like, easily.
Yeah.
With, like, room. With space. So I think it's just, like, going back to everything that we were talking about, that it's been canceled. This has been canceled. There's a lot that's being canceled now. And from what I've seen in social media, it seems like they're doing it as a precaution.
Yeah.
Like a very, like, let's get out ahead of this. Look, it's not fun for anybody that we have to do it, but I'd rather do it now than deal with it in 5 months where we let people into Madison Square Garden for 2 months afterwards and we let people get exposed to it.
Of course.
Or, again, like the entire March Madness bracket. Like, one person at March Madness it takes to get sick and get everyone sick that's been going to the games and stuff. So, I mean, who doesn't like to work from home? If you talk to everybody in corporate America, they're probably excited. I talked to Kevin, one of my buddies who's a teacher, and he was telling me, he's like, I'm not excited. Like, he's like, for a lot of teachers and people like that, it's not that they're not excited, but it's like their whole career and their whole, like, it's about being present and doing things like that. Yeah. So it's been very interesting to see how not just businesses are handling it, but like now you're hearing schools. Like, I work at a job where I'm working with businesses and schools, so I'm hearing feedback on both sides, and I'm just like,
yeah,
I won't disclose any more information about where I work or anything like that because I legally cannot. But no, I mean, it's just, again, it's like, it's crazy to think about just the overarching impact that it has on all of these different networks of, like, younger kids, older kids, adults, seniors, sports, movies.
Yeah.
Which is a great segue.
Yeah.
Which is a great segue into what we're talking about.
But before we get to that, I agree with you completely that it's good with the precautions that they're canceling all these things, but it that also has to do with a big part of the worries that people are getting because these things are getting canceled. You know what I mean? So
my worries personally went up like fivefold as soon as they canceled the NBA.
Yeah, exactly.
Gobert,
yeah.
Gobert, patient zero. Like,
so
that sucks.
Yeah, my boss kind of brought up a good point. He I mean, again, look, your superiors kind of have to have like a positive mindset with it, and like I mean, again, we all have to have a positive mindset with it, because like I was telling my girlfriend the other night, I'm like, I'm worried, I'm nervous, like every other person should be. But you can't let it run your life. Like, you have to go, and like people are like, well, gyms are the easiest place to contract it. You go outside, you have a chance of getting it.
Yeah.
Like, don't play the whole, if you go here, then you're gonna. If you go there, you're gonna. Like, people are stockpiling food in case they.
You're right. My mom went into the supermarket today and couldn't
insane.
find one piece of meat on the
there's no meat,
fridges.
There's no milk, there's no eggs, there's no toilet paper. Like, I get it. You'd rather be safe than sorry. It goes back to the whole thing. But it becomes hysteria at a time. It's like you have to keep a level head and you have to keep positive with it. Just like, look, we're all told sometimes you got to just smile through it and be like, even if it's not fun. But it's like, my boss and the couple people I had spoken with had been saying, it's like, well, let's play it in the best case scenario, where a lot of them have been kind of going. It's like 2 weeks from now, Gobert is fine, right? He's let's just say he's good now and he's getting better in 2 weeks, right? Let's say they come up with something as like a vaccination or something to prevent it or something to slow it down, and then in 3 or 4 weeks we're back running the business. That's kind of the mentality you just have to have with it. Like, you have to just be telling yourself, well, you know what? This month is kind of a wash, but like come the end of April, we're back in business. Like, that's my mentality with it.
Me
it's
too.
like,
yeah.
It's like, look, for most businesses and for most things, if you think about it, April's kind of a slow month. Like, minus the fact that baseball kicks back off and when does basketball end? Like, the playoffs are right around the corner, but they're in May, right? Like, end of April, May.
April, May.
So, yeah. I mean, the only thing you're really missing, which is, again, it's a huge money industry of March Madness. March Madness is big. Like, that's something you are definitely missing. But besides that, there's so much more that goes on in the summer months and then the holiday months. Like, if this was going on during Christmas time, dude, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, imagine this went on during the Super Bowl. Like, I don't think there would have been a Super Bowl.
Yeah, there might have not been.
Like, there might not have been a Super Bowl. There might not have been, like, when I think back, and this is more of a joke, but like Christie canceled Halloween on us.
Yeah, right.
I was like, oh man, I was like, these things are getting canceled. Like when Christie canceled Halloween on us. So
what was that for again?
State of emergency.
Oh, that's right.
I think they said that we were supposed to get like a drastic storm, and then like,
yeah.
I don't think it was anything major.
Yeah.
I don't even remember though. But it's just, I have that mentality. I'm just smiling through it, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just hope for the best. I'm telling myself that we're all good to go. And, again, you can really only take it day by day. I get it. The problem becomes like the overarching issues with like family members and friends that are compromised. But it's like, if you're washing your hands, if you're staying healthy, if you're, just taking those extra steps where like normally maybe you didn't wash your hands. Like, I would usually get off the path in the morning and like I wasn't touching anything back in the day, like, but I just was like, I was on my phone or I was whatever.
Yeah.
I usually didn't wash my hands because I didn't think to do it, but I wasn't holding on to anything. I wasn't touching anything. So in my head, I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Now it becomes like, okay, well, when I get off it, I'm immediately going to the bathroom. I wash my hands. Then I go to my desk. I Clorox everything. So I think now it's become more people are just becoming a lot more protective with it, and they want to just take that extra step.
Which is good.
I think taking that extra step will help, though.
Nothing wrong with cleanliness, Not at all.
We'll take that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely stepped up my hygiene.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
100%.
The only thing I'll say is I literally washed my glasses like 50 times like in the past 3 days, and I've been like freaking out. I'm probably just gonna be like in my basement, like using it as a bunker for a little bit.
Oh my god. Well, if you need to find Joe, at least you know where he is.
Yeah,
he's
right.
not going too far.
Right.
Exactly.
So we'll go into our news roundup, which is basically what we have been talking about with this coronavirus. Not only has it been affecting people's jobs, sporting events and whatnot, it's also has been affecting the movies as well as far as their premiere dates. A whole bunch of things have got pushed back. We learned 1 or 2 weeks ago, 007, No Time to Die, pushed back to November.
Yep.
Now,
rough.
Yeah,
that
which is
hurts.
rough.
Hurts.
That one does hurt. But the precaution, it's there.
I get it.
And today alone, so many movies got delayed.
It's like
The New Mutants, Mulan, A Quiet Place Part 2, they've all been delayed. I don't want to call it indefinitely because they're going to come out eventually, but like... New Mutants might not show up at all. New Mutants might not show up.
Everything else might be there. No, you're definitely right. Like Quiet Place 2 and Mulan. And yeah, I don't know so much about that first one, Frank. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's a blessing in disguise that this is now happening.
Yeah.
For this movie.
For that movie.
Dude, they are sitting at a desk and they're like, woo, we dodged the bullet with that one, boys. Let's push it to November. Like, dude, they are... I can't even get into it. I'll be here for hours talking about how New Mutants is just a nightmare.
No. What about Mandalorian, bro?
Well, that's the thing. TV is going to be fine.
No, well, Mandalorian finished filming.
Yeah.
And if anything is, if you're done filming, you should be good. Because at the end of the day, if anything, TV's up now. Because you can sit at your house and watch it.
Quarantine,
compared
baby.
to a movie. Yeah, exactly. It's like now people are immediately going to just be like, ring? I'm going to just watch nonstop TV. That's why I wish that Clone Wars was out as like a full entire thing.
Yeah, true.
But whatever. It's besides the fact. It's besides the fact.
One other movie, which is actually I'm the most surprised about. I thought they would delay it to November, but they ended up delaying it almost a full year.
April, right?
Fast 9 for April 2021.
2021, yeah.
So a full year because of this thing, which I find kind of crazy. But
are they done filming it?
They're I'm
like
pretty sure
officially done. Because that's
think
what I was
so.
thinking. I was like, because I was reading it when we were talking about it, and I'm like, I don't know if this is done, if they're pushing it a full year. Because in my opinion, I get they're going up. I get like, look, Fast and Furious going up in November against like a 007 movie, and then like
it's crowded.
Possibly a Star
versus
Wars
Godzilla,
movie.
I
mean,
then.
Is there going to be any Marvel movies during then? I feel like there's
Eternals. I think
is that
will be
around
at the end of the year.
There's a good amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now it's Fast and Furious has built such a cult following that it's like, bro, if you put it in November, you might get some of your best ratings.
Yeah.
Because, like, I get it, you're doing it now because people aren't going as much, so there's more availability. But, dude, if you go during November, everyone wants to go as their family. Like, hey, like, we're all together, let's go to a movie.
Yeah.
And, like, now if you can go watch, like, an astronaut blow up a car chase with a submarine on top of it, and then, listen, I don't want to get into how much my hatred runs thick for the fact that these movies have just become like, like, but again, that was something for me. I was like, April of 2021. It's just like I feel like they didn't even.
They could
like,
be using it as an excuse to film more. Maybe add The Rock in there now.
No.
Yeah.
No, we've seen enough Rock.
In everything.
Give me a little break. Please. Instead, they replaced him with John Cena. So great.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Dude, for the love of God.
And I'm not even happy about that either.
Like, what happened in Hobbs and Shaw? Did we see another wrestler? Yeah, Roman Reigns. Like, I get it. Yeah. These guys go into wrestling to, like, eventually, like, bridge the gap of whatever, but it's just like, dude.
I know.
I love The Rock as the wrestler. I don't love The Rock as the actor because he just is playing himself in every single role. Hi, I'm The Rock. Oh, wait, no, my name is Hobbs.
Yeah, right.
Rock Hobbs. Like, dude, it's like, oh my God, it's pulling teeth. It's pulling teeth. He's not a bad actor, like, but he's just muscle. That's it.
Yeah.
He's like, did you see the trailer for Jungle Cruise?
No, actually.
Oh, you should watch it.
I didn't because I'm like...
You should watch it. You should watch the trailer for Jungle Cruise because it's him. Yeah. It's The Rock. That's all it is. It's literally The Rock being The Rock on a jungle cruise with John Krasinski's wife, Emily Blunt. Yeah. Shout out. Phenomenal actress. Phenomenal actress.
I love them in Baywatch.
Baywatch was pretty good. You see that?
I'm not...
Baywatch was all right with him. Like that's the kind of role.
Okay, so but here's the thing: we should make a new category where we like take movies and we put them in a category of 3, and like we'll make it as like the one category is no, I will never watch this ever again. I hope my eyes bleed instead. 2 will be like perfect airplane movie, so it's just middle of the pack, whatever, and then 3 is Infinity War. We'll just put it in parentheses, like Infinity War category of like if it makes you cry and makes you happy at the same time. Like that is number 3. So we should make a tiered list that way, and we'll have Joe come up with like 10 movies in a day, and we'll just have to write it all down.
Yeah,
that's not too much work for you, is it, Joe?
I don't know. It sounds good.
Sounds like a lot for Joe. But
I saw a meme.
Oh God!
And it was with The Rock, and it had a picture of him in more of the most recent movie roles that he's been in, and he's
4
in that.
of them, right?
Yeah, like 4 of them, and he's in that same safari outfit.
And it talked about range, right?
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, I was like,
dude, it was like, yo, if you want to talk range, look at The Rock in every one of these movies, and it's him in a gray khaki shirt, button down, and like cargo pants.
Yeah, right.
It's just the same
every
thing
movie,
every time. And one other thing, The Rock shirt always comes off somehow.
Of course,
it's like we get it, dude, but How did that happen? It just magically flew off?
Yeah.
Like, you don't see me taking mine off right now on the pod. For the love of God, we get it. Like, you'll literally be out of frame, and then you'll come back in, and he's shirtless, and he's like, I don't know what happened. It flew off. Action, let's go. Like,
yeah. I know.
Whatever. I mean, it is what it is.
I never really thought of like The Rock's movies like that. Like he always plays like himself. Now that I look back and think of all the Rock movies I've seen, he actually like
is himself.
Plays like himself.
Yeah,
like, all the
whole
time.
The
whole time.
Yeah.
I love his personality.
Oh, I mean, no, he's a great,
very positive
guy. He's a great guy. If you've never watched, so his father just passed away. Again, I'm a big wrestling guy, so like his father was a huge wrestling influence on like just like how the wrestling industry is now and stuff. But his dad just passed away. If you haven't, you should watch the eulogy he gave for his father. He has it on his Instagram. Amazing. Just like he did such a phenomenal job, and like you can tell when someone's trying to get the crowd to cry on like because like I want sympathy from you.
Yeah.
But you could just tell like in that moment, like he's all about the cameras. He's always, and like at certain points I get offended by people that are so in the camera because it's like I do want to see you in a light where you're not the celebrity. Mm-hmm. And just like how it was, I'm just sitting there watching it, and like you could just see that he was at such a vulnerable moment. Like he had a vein running through like the top of his head, like because he's bald, obviously. So you could just see it, and you could just see like when he was giving off the emotion and when he was talking, none of it was scripted. Like it was all just like him talking about his dad, which like for me was so cool. Like I watched that, and like that gave me a lot of respect for the guy who like I give a lot of shit for being The Rock.
Right.
But it's like for when he like came down to it, like it was amazing. I sent it to my mom. My mom texted me back, "Oh my God, I'm crying," like stuff like that. But again, really great guy. But just like I'm tired of you playing the same thing, dude. Just do something different.
Yeah, something different.
I would love to see like
I would love to see him in a horror movie, bro.
DC. He's
gonna be Black Adam.
Yeah, give me Black Adam with a shirt on and with no button down shirt, like no cargo shirt, in a costume. Give me in the costume. Do not take your shirt off the whole time.
Well, that's gonna be it's a superhero movie, so that'll be hard.
Taking his shirt
be
off.
hard.
Real quick, what kind of guy is Black Adam? Do you guys have?
I'll defer to Frank. Question.
He's a bad guy. But I think they're gonna lean towards more of a vigilante kind of guy. I don't know.
So like an anti-hero.
Anti-hero, that's what I meant to say. Yeah.
I haven't even been here. I just realized I just got so tight. We'll talk about it later, but like I've been like stalking your Instagram about how you feel about new Batman.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
I know you're a mental case over. I know you're a mental case over, Frank. You can tell me. We'll talk about it later because I know we will. Because there's a chance that Batman gets brought up, but who knows? Just spitball.
He's all right. Robert Pattinson.
He is. I'm not.
I watched The Lighthouse.
How was it?
Me too.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I didn't know what was going on, but it was good.
Roger Eggers, right? Roger Eggers, E-G-G, whatever, the director. He did that, and he did, I want to say it was like The Witch or something. He does like he does period pieces about like curses, and he's a very dark, and he's like a Massachusetts typical like haunted witches kind of guy. Dude, it was so good. Like the acting from the two of them, William Dafoe and Pattinson, stellar. Like they were good. Oh my God,
they were very good.
They were so good together. But
William Dafoe really shined during that movie. I mean, he's great in everything.
Yeah.
He was really good in that movie.
He killed it.
Yeah.
Well, he's always been a psychopath. Like he's looked like a psychopath.
Yeah.
And now that he played a psychopath, I was like, great. Mm-hmm. I get it.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to the whole Batman thing. So.
We got one trailer review to do, and that's for the final trailer of Black Widow that came out 2 days ago or a day ago.
Yeah.
one last thing I'll bring up about the whole coronavirus thing. This movie's still staying strong with keeping its release date.
Let's
not
get it.
moving. Let's get it. Yeah, I'm happy about that.
Knock on wood. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I want a DC. I almost said. I want a Marvel movie back in the works.
Yes, of course.
I need it, dude.
I wasn't too excited about this movie. The first 2 trailers, I was still like, okay, like obviously I'm still gonna go see it.
Yeah.
Because it's an MCU movie, but still not too excited. This last trailer, it sold me. It definitely sold me. It's looking action packed. It's having that same type of humor that they do in every Marvel movie. No surprise there.
Yep.
I'm excited for
Hopper.
I'm excited for Hopper for real with his Russian accent. You know?
So I think the thing I'm excited for is a new cast.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like as much as like the Avengers movies were great and Infinity War and everything like that, it got to a point where it didn't get tiring because like, excuse me, you were seeing new ways that they were attacking things, and you were seeing how they're evolving, and you're seeing all this stuff. But like you couldn't put your finger on it because you were like, all right, like I've seen enough Vision, right? I've seen enough Scarlet Witch. I've seen enough Vision. I've seen enough Loki. Like those were just characters that like what Disney did was very smart. Now they're putting them on their own, and we're excited for it.
Yeah,
because it's like, oh my god, like these guys that were just and background noise in these movies are now getting the main stage, and hopefully they'll get their chance to shine because of how big this universe has become. But I'm super excited for it now. Like Taskmaster, he
looks awesome.
So I'm a little shaky on him because he looks like a Power Ranger. He does. Like, he looks identical to a Power Ranger that we would have seen in mid 2000s, like right after the 99 where it was, or like 90s where it was really good, and like right before the last version of, I guess, like good Power Rangers. It's like, oh, like cyberpunk Power Ranger, like, you know. But I'm excited for it. I have do we know who he is or no? Because
we don't. I have a little bit of a speculation that it could be Hawkeye, which I hope it's not. Which I really hope it's not.
But why? Because I low-key agree with you.
I have a reason why it might be
Loki. You think
Loki.
it is?
Yeah.
Loki? Or no,
not Loki,
Hawkeye.
sorry, Hawkeye.
No, you're good. I low-key think it is. I low-key think it is, too. Alright, so give me your...
So, remember when Black Widow says in the original Avengers, she's like, it's like Budapest all over again?
Yeah.
And Hawkeye's like, we remember Budapest completely
Two different ways, yeah.
That line alone makes me think it was like, all right, maybe he's like mind controlled or something, or he's just on the wrong side.
Another mind control situation.
I hope that's not the case, and I hope it's not Hawkeye to begin with.
But here's the thing: in this movie, Taskmaster, we've seen him going after who? Scarlet Witch or
Black Widow, yeah.
Black Widow, and then his sisters, right?
Yes, yeah.
They're Russian, right?
Yeah. Could be another.
So, like, you gotta think that, like, technically, dude, he could be a good guy. He could be on the American side, because this is a prequel.
Right.
So he could technically, like, Taskmaster could be an American soldier, could be Hawkeye, going after the Black Widow informative thing. Yeah, very true. You know, so technically, he's a bad guy, but technically speaking, he's really just fighting for, you know, whoever. Mm-hmm. I'm very interested to see. I kind of agree with you, and every time I keep seeing it more and more, I'm like starting to be like, no, there's no way that you're telling me that he's just a normal guy. Like, I don't believe, you know, I'm like, I don't believe it. Like,
I think he's had powers in the past in the comic books and everything. I wonder if they're going to bring that into it.
Like, at this point, I really, really want them to bring, like, just hook us in the face with a crazy person. Yeah. Like, one of the biggest throwbacks. Like, I really want them to eventually get to the Iron Man point where the young kid becomes in the series. Yeah. Like, I really hope they do that. Like, that makes a lot of sense with just what they're doing with Disney Plus now. Like, they can test it there. Yeah. They can throw him in a Disney Plus series and, like, make him shine. And if it works out, then put him in the other stuff. But it's just like, you lost your main roster. Now you're in a rebuild mode. You have great depth. But now it's like, keep adding, keep
Yeah.
making us want to go. Something that Star Wars did not do, and you ruined the fan base, you pathetic, worthless...
No, you're right.
Nice so far. I only watched the first 2 episodes, though.
Clone Wars is nice, but what he's talking about is like it's more about like the future.
What
of
I'm
it,
talking
like, to build a
about
new
is
type
the
of
fact that
foundation, you know what I mean?
instead of them taking their time and releasing episode 7 now, after years after the acquisition, years after it, instead of them just going, there you go, this is episode 7. I hope you like it. There's a junker. Her name is Rey. She makes muffins out of sand. She lives in a broken Star Destroyer. Star Wars is on pace with Marvel with the content. We are talking, this only has a choice amount of like planets and whatever, right? That we've been introduced to.
Yeah.
Star Wars revolves around planet hopping. That's the main point of it. You're in Kashyyyk, you're on Coruscant, you're here, you're there. You're doing so much, and all they've ever done was dance around. We're on Mos Eisley, we're on another sand planet, we're on another planet with trees, we're talking about the Jedi, we're talking about this. It gets so slow. And I'm not saying that it wasn't decent, but it's just like, I sit there as a lifelong Star Wars fan, and I was not a lifelong Marvel fan. But I became a lifelong Marvel fan because of the content they were giving me. I fell in love with those characters. Who did you fall in love with in episode 7, 8, and 9? Like, I loved Luke Skywalker because, like, I love Luke Skywalker because it's also conveniently my name, and I've never, like, I never lived down, like, hey, Luke Skywalker. I'm like, haha. Like, you know, I'll never live that down. So that's my guy. I love Chewbacca, but there's now becoming a thing where I've mentioned 2 people and they're from the original trilogy.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, if I named my top 5 characters in the new movies, Palpatine might be one of them. Like, all people from the original, you know, like, you might get Kylo Ren in there and then, like, Rey occasionally. Like, when she's not pissing and moaning. And, like, then Finn is just, I have special powers and, you know, I'm a Jedi also. It gets to the point where it's just like they just rushed it. And then they wanted their money, they wanted their toys, they wanted their this, they wanted their that. You made your money, and look at you now. You're a laughingstock because you had this series, you had this series, they all made it. Dude, Planet of the Apes is a better trilogy than the new Star Wars trilogy.
Oh.
I will fight to the death tooth and nail on that.
Was
I
that
will
even
fight
a
to the death.
question?
No, but when you talk to anyone that knows movies, who's gonna say? They don't know. Like, I talk to people now, they're like, I've never seen the new Planet of the Apes. I'm like, you should go watch it because it's phenomenal. It's one of my favorite movies. That trilogy alone sits on such a high altar for me. It is such good storytelling, such a good concept, such good Easter eggs. Like, it just takes everything as a fan. Like, why couldn't you do that with all the content you had with Star Wars? You had an entire table worth of stuff, and you're like, we're going to use this.
More than a table's worth.
You know, it's just like, so that's my thing with it. It's just like, I didn't mean to go on a tangent. It's been a while since I did a tangent, so I guess it's rightfully so. But it's just like, you know, it disappoints you when you see, imagine that happened with Marvel. Like, imagine you watched your favorite thing as a kid completely crash and burn. Like, imagine the new Star Wars, the new Pokemon games. Imagine they just stunk.
Oh, well, they do.
I've heard...
Personally, I've been pissed off ever since they translated to like the 3D environments, but
I that's fine. But besides that, is it a pretty good game?
oh yeah, the core mechanics are there. They can't fuck that up, you know.
Well,
Excuse
yeah,
my
no,
language.
I would hope not.
Hopefully, blip that out.
Make sure you bleep it with a dolphin noise. I've been pushing for years now.
You know, you can't mess. I feel like you can't mess with something mess something up if the core formula is there.
Yeah,
still.
but we're dancing around the whole issue of possibly messing Batman up. But again, I'm just jabbing at Frank right now because I can see it eating him up inside.
There's been a lot of attempts at like trying to, I guess, revive Batman. Huh?
Well, the newest one did fine.
Well,
Not the... Sorry. Rewind the tape. The newest trilogy of good movies did fine. Yeah. That one there.
Yeah.
The next one, not so much.
Yeah.
The new one, we'll see. You know.
Definitely a bag in the air right now. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that right now.
I can see through Frankie right now, and the fire that's in his chest is just getting hotter and hotter, going right into his.
What happened?
It's gonna die soon. The camera's blinking. I see another battery there.
Yeah, it's fine. When it turns off, I'll switch it up.
New camera, don't know how to.
New camera, who dis?
But back to Taskmaster.
That's what we were talking about, of course.
I loved in the trailer. It showed different aspects of different superheroes that I don't know if he's copying necessarily because it's a prequel, but he has the Black Panther claws in the trailer. Bow and arrow with Hawkeye. He does some stances like Spider-Man. And you even see him studying film of Black Widow, too, in the trailer. Yeah. So, I'm glad they're sticking to his roots.
So I know he's not, but imagine he was like Tony Stark. Like, imagine, or someone that was building their material. Because who built the bowcaster for Hawkeye? Like, who built the shield from... the new shield?
The newest shield?
Because didn't one get... trashed back in the day, and then the new... Well, yeah, who made the newest one? Tony, right?
Yeah, Tony made the newest one, yeah.
So Tony made the newest one.
And his dad made the old
one. Ooh. His dad.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, that would be wild.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow, that would
be.
That would be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But let's... We could sit here and say, who are your top 5 selections for who Taskmaster could be? But, no, I think I agree with you, though. It's cool to watch and see, he was doing the Wakanda claws. He was doing the literal Hawkeye pose. But I do agree with you where, it makes a lot of sense for it to be Hawkeye. Technically, mechanically, it looks very much like it could be Hawkeye.
Yes, yeah.
Just with, he looks like that's how Jeremy Renner shoots. That's how Hawkeye pulls the bow and arrow back for the most part. When you see it, he's very agile. He's very flexible. He's very, so the only time will tell. But I really hope they don't just pull it out of nowhere and it's a guy we've never heard of. I would love to see it being someone that we're oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it's exciting stuff.
For sure. All right, we'll move on to our next thing, which is movie reviews. This will be short because I know you two haven't seen them. 2 movies I saw recently: My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising. I give it a 9.0 out of 10.
Bang.
Thought it was phenomenal. I'm on a big anime train as of late, and that movie was phenomenal. People are saying that it might not be canon. It definitely should be canon. That's all I'll say about that. The movie I just saw on Tuesday, The Invisible Man.
Oh,
bro.
I've heard great things.
Oh, I forgot to ask your brother about that. He said he was going...
That's a DC Universe movie, right?
No. That's a classic monster movie.
But isn't it the what's it called universe? We talked about this episode 3 or 4.
Yeah, the Universal Dark Universe.
Dark Universe.
Yes. Yeah.
It's back on, and they knocked it out of the park with this. They knocked it out of the park, and you liked Swamp Man, right? Or Swamp Person, the show.
Oh, I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it? I thought you did watch the first season. No,
I didn't.
I didn't. What was the Dark
Universe?
That was
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
It's Frankenstein's monster, Invisible Man,
Dracula,
a werewolf movie, Dracula, and then one or two other things. But it was just that it was getting really good push, and then it was just it was getting terrible feedback. Really good push, terrible feedback, and just kept going on and on and on with it.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I've heard great things. A lot of people have told me they liked it.
Dude, it was so good. I thought the jump scares were there, the suspense was there. Dude,
I know the ending because I have one of those coworkers.
Okay.
One of those coworkers. Here's a public service announcement. Don't be one of those coworkers that decides to come into the office and preach about the ending to a movie.
Yeah, right. Don't do
Let
that.
us, as the viewers, decide if we want to watch it, and if we don't, tell me. Mm-hmm. I don't care. But if I do have intentions of possibly watching it one day, and you want to scream across the room about the ending to the movie, don't.
Yeah.
That's the end of my public service announcement.
That good public service announcement.
Just it's needed. It's needed, dude.
Yes.
I have so many people that I work with. there does become a point where it's like it's too long, then you can talk about it.
Yeah.
Like one of my buddies who's a big Star Wars fan still hasn't seen episode 9. I'm like, dude, you're out. I'm not gonna like. I'm like, that's your own fault. I'm not holding back
point,
now.
yeah.
Like it is like, yeah, at this point, it's no big deal. But like, you can't have people like that. It ruins it for everybody because like, you know, I was literally talking about it, and I'm like, I didn't know if I was gonna go see it immediately, but I was like, I would have preferred if you didn't just say that, you know, like told me. I'm like, come on. But you liked it, like you enjoyed it. It was great.
So good. Blumhouse Pictures. They can't do anything wrong, man.
Bite your tongue. So here's my Blumhouse mathematics.
Yeah.
They put out 1 great and 5 bad. But
Yeah,
the
they
5
do come
bad
out with a lot
make
of
them
stuff.
money.
Yeah.
Like the
On
Curse of
small
La
budgets,
the Curse of
dude.
La Llorona
Oh,
is
yeah.
but like
Yeah.
terrible movie.
Yeah.
Not that bad of a budget, but made them a good amount of money. So you're 100% right. Like they're smart. Look, they're smart. They're doing it right. They are realizing that horror is kind of back, but they're doing horror in the right way. Like Us, you know, Get Out. Like those are Blumhouse, right? Or no?
No, I think they're like, excuse me, Jordan Peele's production company.
Why did I think they were Blumhouse?
They could have been connected
Nah,
to that.
whatever.
I don't
Whatever.
know.
Regardless. Just like what they're doing with it, they're very smart with. They do make a really good one, and then again, they make a couple poopers, some stinkers, but like it is what it is.
Yeah.
But they're very smart with like focusing their money. Like you said, their budgets are not big, and they're making.
And this
money.
movie alone.
How much was this budget? Do you know?
I don't know. I could look it up right now, but bro, it's
It
such
made a
small-
lot, right?
Yeah, dude, I'll made a lot.
Because like I knew this was one of those movies that people started like telling their friends. It was like, go watch it, go watch it, go watch it. Oh, dude, we
let's
have so much to go over. I haven't talked Oscars with Frankie or you guys.
It crossed 100 million at the worldwide box office in less than 2 weeks.
What?
100
mil is not. It's like
Yeah, that was
big.
1 day ago.
Nah,
that was
that's
1
not
day
that
ago.
much.
That's not that much, but
Not-
it depends on what the budget was.
Depending on the budget, which I'll also look up now.
Because 100 million, hopefully, the budget was.
I wonder what the Sonic.
$9 million.
Oh, so they're all right, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they'll probably end with like 300 or right under that.
Especially
300
with the
million.
hype this movie's been getting
So
too.
just like,
it's helping it a
that's
lot.
good. Good for them. That's
Isn't that
awesome.
Where Sonic's at like 300 million, do you know?
I'm not sure.
You saw Sonic.
Yeah, it was good.
You liked Sonic.
It was good, yeah.
You were worried, but we liked it.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I didn't see it yet either, but I was very worried. Did Jim Carrey do good? Because that's all
Jim
I really
Carrey
care
was
about.
the best part of it.
Great. That's all I
Yeah,
care about.
best
That
part of
man is. I love him.
Yeah.
He's the best.
And it's been a while since he's been in
In
like,
a good role. 100%.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
He did very good in it.
Great.
Great Dr. Eggman. But yeah, Invisible Man was great. Apparently, Blumhouse is now working on a modern day Dracula movie.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool. After seeing Invisible Man, I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
excited
dope.
to see what they do with that. But yeah, that's all I'll say about Invisible Man 2. Don't want to spoil much about it, about how he's invisible and stuff like that. You know,
I know.
See the movie. I know
Because
you
it was
know, yeah.
spoiled.
But
me.
yeah, we could get into our one and only main topic, which is this is going to be a fun one: the top 5 superhero movies to date.
Superhero movie.
To date, because obviously there's like 100 more coming out in the next couple years, and we could get right into it. Do you have any honorable mentions? Should we do that?
I have a couple honorable mentions. Listen, this list really did have me torn because when you do a top, so here's like the 3 stages of it. Top 10 gives you variety because you can throw everything in there. Mm-hmm. Mount Rushmore makes it hard because it's your top 4, and then you really gotta be like, well, these are the ones that I see and I keep on the mantle place.
Yeah.
And top 5 is like you give your extra one, and then for me, like I was like, all right, well, I gave my extra one, and then I danced around a little bit more because like I had some that I'm like, oh my god, I can't, like I don't even know. So like,
Yeah.
Batman Begins. Mm-hmm. I'll kick it off. I loved that movie.
Yeah.
Like, loved that movie. That was the first of the Batman series and the new ones. And here's my thing. A lot of people don't give it the light of day. I think Liam Neeson murders that. Dude, Ra's al Ghul, phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
And Batman coming to be who he was one of the coolest things. Them training on the ice lake is one of my favorite movie scenes ever. I have Lego Batman as very much like the comic relief. I loved that.
I've yet to see, actually.
I thought Lego Batman was so much fun. I love the Lego movies. I'm a big Lego guy, so I've always loved Legos. You put Legos and you put Batman together for me. I'm like, this is... And Will Arnett is so funny, dude. When he's on his game, he's on his game. He kills it.
Yeah.
And then... So my number 5 is a 3-way tie, and I left it up to my honorable mentions that I would just pick. So Guardians is another one.
Okay.
I love Guardians. I think Guardians is phenomenally written. I think it's really well done. I'm not as much into X-Men, so Logan just misses out on me.
Okay.
Trust me, I really wanted to put it in there.
Yeah.
Like, it took every part of me not to put it in there, because I think it's the best X-Men film I've ever seen. But it comes down to the fact that, like, again, I wasn't big on X-Men as a kid. They did it dark. They did it gritty, which I loved. Yeah. I think they phenomenally killed it with that. And then my only other honorable mention that just misses my 5 spot is Incredibles.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Just like, I loved Incredibles. Me and my girlfriend raved about the new one when it came out. Like, we went and saw it together. Like, loved the new one. The new one was phenomenal. Like, I'm happy that we waited 10 years for the new one. Like, they killed it. The nostalgia factor was definitely still there. It was awesomely done. But my number 5 is a DC movie. Ooh. And I usually don't do that because if you know anything about me, you know I have a complete hatred for it, but it's Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Dude, so good.
It is good.
I just thought Gal Gadot,
something like that.
I'm just butchering this. It's been a while. But she's just awesome. She killed the performance. I think, like, Wonder Woman coming out when it did was a huge push for, like, the fact that we were seeing way too many guy superheroes. Yes. We were seeing way too much, like, in your face, I'm a dude.
Yep.
Like, it gets to a point where, like, look, even I can admit, like, do I think they kind of pushed it in our face with other movies and series? Like Star Wars, like, at certain times I was like, I get it, we don't have to.
Yeah.
I loved Ray's part, but then you go back to, like, Wonder Woman, I was like, this is awesome. Like, she controls it. It works phenomenally with the storyline. It really was just well done. She killed the role. The villain is pretty good, but, like, you know, for the most part, I thought the movie itself was really good. So.
And I'm glad DC was the first to really push that female superhero.
Oh my God, yeah,
DC needed.
They need it.
They need it.
Yeah, they need it. Yeah. So do you want to do 5, and we'll go around 4s, 3s, or do you want me to go down my whole list except my number 1? It's up to you.
Let's go around. Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Joe.
I mean, my 5, like, it was Wonder Woman, but I'm gonna pull out. I feel like this should. I feel like this really was my 5 because I honestly love Captain America, and for some reason,
which one?
When I went, well, I'm gonna say.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Captain America, Black Panther.
When I was going down my list, I was like, I literally put this movie at, like, my number, like, 2 at first. And then started thinking of, like, the scope of all these other movies.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Some of them. And
because I put it at 2.
Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah,
not
great.
Civil War.
Winter Soldier. Another great.
Wait a second. Which one?
Civil War's on my
Which one is it?
It's on my honorable mention, so I just read off it on accident. It's Winter Soldier, though. Like, really, like, the introduction of Bucky, like, going back to that whole Captain America, like, him being a complete badass. We have some just iconic scenes from that.
Oh, yeah.
From those movies.
No, you're right.
Especially
Definitely.
That movie. I mean, wait, what movie was that one scene in? Was in the elevator? Was that?
The elevator was Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that was Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember it that well for some reason. You know, I really just love Captain America. I mean, I don't know. This was my honorable mention, so I feel.
No, hey, I respect it.
Yeah,
I respect it.
I can't say Wonder Woman. I can't say.
No. I agree with you. We don't want to keep our lists too close.
But I mean, what do I want to say specifically about that? I really just like the fact that they, you know, I like Bucky's character, and it's
Bucky's
like,
so cool.
Such
a good character.
That much the movie. I just know I loved it dearly, but I know Bucky, and I love the movies that he's in. You know.
He kills it, definitely.
He's in another one of my movies on this list.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure he is for you guys too.
Mm-hmm.
So that was your honorable mention or your number 5?
I'm gonna put it as my number 5.
Okay, so Wonder Woman was your honorable mention.
Yes.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Nice.
I guess.
Right before I go, is that still good?
Yeah, it's like literally going off after like 13 minutes though. So I just keep clicking it every
Okay, that's fine.
The hippie to the hip hop.
All right, so I'm gonna quickly go down my 5 honorable mentions.
There you
first.
go. So it should have been a top 10, but whatever.
So quickly off, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh.
Absolutely amazing.
Okay, not in the top 5.
Not in my top 5. It originally was until I had to move some things around.
Okay, had to adjust.
Yeah, and adjust, but oh my god, such a good movie.
Great.
Sony, you're doing great things with the Spider-Verse stuff.
Just give us Spider-Man in Marvel. Don't do that nonsense that you did last time.
Yeah.
Me and Frank had a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
You do that to us again, I'm going to find you and I'm going to kill you. Don't do that. That was nonsense. It was nonsense.
Another one, Deadpool and Deadpool 2.
Oh my god.
Great.
I'm so mad. I forgot
Great.
I
Deadpool.
haven't seen the second one still.
No, you haven't? Definitely watch it. So good. X-Men Days of Future Past. It's not on my top 5 because, like you, not the biggest X-Men guy, but that was one of the most phenomenal X-Men films I've seen.
Good for you though, putting it on there.
Batman Begins and The Dark Knight Rises. Obviously, the second one's on my top 5. And Black Panther. I'll tell you what, Black Panther just came on Disney Plus. So when I first saw this movie in theaters, I saw it in Newark, New Jersey, and felt very out of place. I'll just say that. So my experience for it wasn't as great as I guess it should be, but I keep on watching it over and over again, and it's a freaking phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
Black Panther is phenomenal, and now the more I think about it, I guess it does deserve to be there for when it went for Best Picture at the Oscars.
Oh my god, 100, dude. It deserved. Now here's my thing: deserved the spot.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is that it didn't deserve the win, and it's because you go to the caliber of acting.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
It's not
of course.
it's not the overarching issue of it. There are certain things in the Academy that are all screwed up with African American actresses and actors. 100% agree. There are some people that are giving phenomenal performances every year, and they're snubbed on a constant basis. In certain cases. But there are certain cases that some people do just give better performances, or not better performances, but just all around it's like the acting or the movie or the whatever. Like, this year Adam Sandler got snubbed.
Yeah, he did.
For Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Like, so it happens. I'm not playing any cards. I do want to just be transparent with it. Like, I'm bummed that it didn't get more mention because it definitely deserved it. It was a phenomenal movie. It was one of Marvel's best put together movies in a very long time.
Yes.
Like, with their villain that gets killed off halfway through, then the
villains were phenomenal.
But that storyline, Ulysses Claw's storyline's been building up since Age of Ultron.
Yep, that's right. Right.
So just like what they did to it was so good, and how I judge it now is that the female coworker of mine, and when I say coworker, it's my business partner Kayla, who is my girlfriend, as a joke. She loved the movie. She thought it was great, and when she likes it, that's when you know it's good.
Yeah,
because she's not the biggest. She didn't like Infinity War and Endgame, but that was because they were very long.
Yeah,
but I don't blame you. They were long movies. She fell asleep. Black Panther, phenomenal though.
It was so good. Michael B. Jordan killed his role as Killmonger.
So good.
Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, phenomenal.
Better though.
Shuri, phenomenal. Okoye, Michonne from Walking Dead, phenomenal. I could keep on going.
Just for the record, I have never been on this podcast where The Walking Dead has not been brought up.
Yes, that's very
true. We
true.
continued the streak tonight, people.
Yes.
Game of Thrones.
Damn it, Joe. just had to do it.
But that'll do it for my honorable mentions. I'm going to start with number 5, and that is Doctor Strange.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Doctor Strange, another phenomenal movie. Benedict Cumberbatch fits that role so perfectly. It's unreal. It's just a great movie. It's one of those unique MCU movies, and not to down anything on the MCU, but they kind of start to blend in a little bit Doctor Strange, for me, was unique and was its very own thing. They took a totally different route with the mystical arts and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was phenomenal. The villain was okay at most. I forgot his name. But
Mads Mikkelsen. No.
Is that the actor's name?
Yeah, I think. No. I'll look it up.
But yeah, the movie was phenomenal. It's trippy. It's everything that I wanted from a Doctor Strange movie. And I'm so excited for Multiverse of Madness. Probably my most anticipated.
Yes, it is Mads
Marvel
Mikkelsen.
movie. It is, yeah.
Yeah, and he's also the bad guy in Rogue One.
Yes, he is, yeah.
No, he's the good guy. Sorry, he's Jen Erso's dad.
Oh, he's the yes.
That's
yeah.
what's his name's the bad guy.
The Death Star.
Krennic, who the actor is eluding me right now, but whatever.
Phenomenal movie,
Great.
And that is my number 5.
So my number 4, you are going to despise. You are going to hate me for it, but. Again, this list, when you do a top 5, I don't completely hold everyone to the spot because they're all just so good that they're like, on a daily basis, they could change. Like, This could be my favorite movie tomorrow just because if I watch them, like, I might be more invested. But Dark Knight. I loved the trilogy. I thought they were all phenomenal. Listen, Christian Bale, in my opinion, is still the best Batman.
He is the best Batman.
He is the best Batman. No one did it better. He murdered it. He made the role his own. It's so good. The cast is great. He's great. Why it's my number 4 is because I always make one argument with it, and the Joker's performance is hands down one of the greatest performances in movie history.
Yep.
But not that I don't like, but I think to a certain degree, and it might not be as much anymore, but the Joker, Heath Ledger passing away amplified the movie's hype so much more because of his performance. That's not me saying his performance wasn't one of the best I've ever seen in someone doing it. He is a method actor through and through. The guy killed himself for the role. But that's where it becomes the whole issue of like, he killed himself for the role, so many more people fell in love with it because they alluded to like, he killed himself for the role. Like, that's how,
Yeah.
So I respect the hell out of it. I think it was, again, one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's phenomenally done. It's a work of art. But just for me, I always like to bring that argument up too, and it's more just a stir the pot thing. I love to stir the pot with people who don't like movies as much as we do, and they just don't get it as much. So when I like kind of bring that up, they're like, oh, yeah. I didn't know that. And they know he passed away, but they don't necessarily know he died from the role.
Yeah.
So, again, amazing job, amazing movie, but that's my number 4.
All right.
Sorry.
I respect it. I do respect it.
I know. This was hard. I knew this was going to be hard sitting across from you and saying these things.
I can't believe that's your number 4.
Again, it could be, dude, it could be my number 2 or my number whatever on any other day, too. Like, it's just the top 5. We could have done a top 10 and it could have been 8 tomorrow, and then it could be number 1, the next day.
True.
It's just, that's the luxury of having so much good content with superhero movies.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4, it's X-Men, Days of Futures Past.
Yeah.
And, I want to start off and say I love Quicksilver in that movie. I love seeing Beast. Everyone, I love seeing their younger counterparts too. And I know some people didn't like seeing some people didn't like the younger X-Men. I know some of the newer movies where they're only like in it, people do not really mess with that much, or they're not fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the newest one. To be honest, I don't even.
That was you saw the newest one,
yeah,
right?
Dark Phoenix. I thought it was pretty good. I think it deserved better.
Dark Phoenix.
I think it deserved better than.
But it's also because they were getting rid of the series.
Yeah.
So that's why it didn't get as much love, because it was just like we're getting rid of you and we are washing our hands clean of this.
Fun fact: they did a lot of reshoots for that movie because it started looking a little too familiar to Captain Marvel with the whole Skrulls things, because they were adding aliens that transformed to look like different people.
Oh my god.
AKA the Skrulls.
AKA Captain Marvel.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I I really just loved all the actors in it. Like, I love the young actors. Magneto, Professor X. I love their dynamic is fantastic.
Yeah, it really is great.
Really is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jennifer Lawrence. You know, when she assassinates that. Who was he? He was like a. It was like a Middle Eastern like general or something. She assassinates him. She like seduces him.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Powers. I love that.
You okay, Joe? Don't get too excited on us.
I really like Jennifer Lawrence. Fire got lit in me.
Yeah,
I really like. I've seen this movie a lot. Like, I literally would fall asleep to that movie when it was on HBO.
Yeah.
I don't think it still is, but
I don't think so.
Great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Great, like the way it all played out. I loved it.
The Sentinels are fantastic in that movie. They're a big threat for the X-Men. Big threat.
Oh, by the way, Westworld coming back.
By the way, I don't even remember
Cannot
what the
wait.
Sentinels are, and I feel like Frank did
Oh my god.
I can't remember.
What?
What are they exactly?
What are the Sentinels?
The Sentinels are the robots that are meant to kill mutants.
Aren't they? Are they silver?
Oh, what am I crazy?
Yeah, they're silver. The
flat
future
heads,
Sentinels
they're, like,
are
gigantic.
silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I remember.
Main part of the story, man.
Literally the main part of the whole entire movie.
Right. 'Cause what's his name made him, right? Tyrion Lannister?
Yeah, Tyrion Lannister made him.
Oh my
Yes.
god, what am I crazy?
Yes.
Yes,
All
you
right,
are.
all right. I had to break the barrier a little bit. Had to crack the shell. Now
Third
it's
wall
all coming back
break.
to me. I mean, I liked his performance in that movie.
Yeah, he was great in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The fact that the Sentinels were made from, spoiler alert, were made from Mystique's powers, Jennifer Lawrence's powers. I thought that was fantastic. And of course, Hugh Jackman's fantastic in every X-Men movie.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't mention him. You know, I feel like I don't have to. I feel like someone else might.
Yeah,
Maybe.
very true. Very true. I'll move on to my number 4, which is a combined of 2 movies in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. This is my number 4, and it's not more close to my number 1 because I kind of tried to steer away from it being MCU movies, kind of. I kind of like the idea of superhero, like, not nowadays, but like, the superhero movies that are in their own world and are unique in their own way, I'm starting to find myself enjoying more. But I'll talk more about that later. Infinity War and Endgame, just the whole lead up to it, they were fantastic. They were so well put together. I'm sure it's on some of you guys on your guys' list as well.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not.
It is.
All right, then it is for you. All right.
Who knows? Maybe it will be.
All right. I'm just not sure how much I should talk to.
No.
Okay, all right.
No, you're good.
You
talk.
Okay, all right.
We could love the movie for completely.
Yeah, it'll be my number 1, and I'll still talk about it for 10 hours.
If I had to choose between the two, I do think Infinity War was a better movie because I do like all the heroes, like literally every hero, putting work in against bad guys and whatnot. Obviously, Endgame was phenomenal too. Great closing chapter for them. CGI is fantastic. Thanos is a goddamn boss.
The boss.
Yeah, I mean,
no, it's great.
It is. They're phenomenal movies. I wouldn't change them for anything.
No.
No,
I agree with you.
But yeah, that's my number 4. I feel like we talked about it so much already that it's like I don't know what else to say about it.
No, I mean, after everything we've said about it, there's not much to say. It's a masterpiece. They're both masterpieces. They're a good version of what you do with a movie trilogy when you get it passed to you. All right, so I'll do my number 3. Do a little segment we're bringing back to while I'm at it.
Oh,
so
yes, let's do it.
We actually are going back to our food and or candy reviews while we're doing this. So my number 3 is Spider-Verse. I was very skeptical about Spider-Verse at first because I was like, cartoon, I love cartoons, that's all my wheelhouse, but I wasn't sure how I was going to like it as an actual movie. So then when I went and sat down and watched it, oh my god, dude. Amazingly done, amazingly put together. The soundtrack is so good.
Yeah.
The movie itself is a tearjerker. It's got me crying. It's got me excited. It's got me laughing. So good. Amazing. I literally can't say anything else about it than just like, I loved it.
Yeah.
So, we brought out the bad boys today. We have a Milky Way salted caramel.
Ooh, all right.
Newer flavor. And then a Twix cookies and cream.
All right.
So, as we pass Joe the mic onto what your number 3 is, I'll be distributing these accordingly. We'll do a little,
But before Joe gets onto that, the animation for Spider-Verse.
Oh, dude.
It's amazing. Amazing. All right, so what is this? This is the
Twix cookies and cream edition.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. My number 3 is oh wow, you're good. You're really good.
Yeah, let's take this in for a second.
Let's indulge.
Yeah. I like it.
Want to hear a hot take? It doesn't taste any different than a Twix.
No, I think it has that lighter taste to it, I think.
It tastes more like cookies and cream, yeah, but...
Yeah, the cream on the top is a little, like, light.
Yeah, it's light.
It's light, so it does taste like a regular Twix.
Mm-hmm.
Almost tastes like a lighter, to me, like Oreo cream.
Okay.
Almost on top.
All right.
Very good.
I can get behind that.
Yeah. Very good.
Where's this one?
What do we give this?
Oh, I give it like a...
I give cookies and cream Twix
I'm going to pull up the list.
like a 7.2 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, I was right on pace with that. It was a 6.8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 7.5. I really like chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to write it down.
This has caramel in it.
Yes, salted caramel Twix.
Joe?
I mean...
You said what?
7.5.
7.5. And then Frank, you said...
7.2. No, this next one is what?
Next one
Milky
is...
Way, Milky Way.
Yeah, salted caramel Milky Way.
Okay. I'm a big salted caramel guy. Caramel iced coffee every day.
From Dunkin'?
From Dunkin', yeah. Mm-hmm. And this is good. I think I gotta put it a little lower at like a 6.4, I think. Because caramel in liquid form is absolutely amazing. I don't know how much I really like it. I don't know. I don't even know what you would call this kind of form. Like regular caramel form.
Hear me out. This could be like an 8.5 out of 10 if they had some crunch in it. Some like I don't know, peanuts or.
Yeah, I get it. I actually like that it's got like the salt in it. I didn't expect it to have like any salty type.
I like how the caramel tastes.
And I liked that it is a salted caramel kind of taste to it.
Yeah.
I would give that. My biggest thing is when I give these scores, it's more if it doesn't go past it. Like if it goes past an 8, for me, that's something that I can eat a lot of and I love it and I'm indulging in it. If it doesn't go past an 8 for me, it's just like something I'll have and I'm good with. But like, you know, whatever. I'll give that a 7.6 because I did thoroughly enjoy it, but I don't think I'd have crazy amounts more. Frankie, what did you say on it?
Give it a 6.4.
And Joe, what do you got on it?
Maybe about a 7 this time.
Just a solid 7.
If there was some crunch, it would be...
Okay. Well, whoever would like, if you guys want another bite or whatever, split it, do whatever. I don't care.
Always appreciate you bringing over the snacks, Luke.
Okay.
Always a nice intermission to it.
Dude, someone's here. You take this. I'll have the Milky Way. Someone's got to do it, right?
Yes.
God, I love it. Fast.
So, like, my number 3 is, like, Endgame, and I feel like we talked about it.
But we're going to keep talking about it. Don't worry.
I mean, it was just like the pinnacle, like what they wanted to do. It's crazy because Marvel said they were going to set out and they were going to have these ultimate movies, you know, and they literally did just that, in my opinion. Like bringing everyone together, bringing people back, you know, losing some people.
Yeah.
You know, after Stan Lee's death, I feel.
Oh my God.
Like this movie, I feel like it shot up even
more. No, you're 100% right.
Like, and. I don't even like my favorite character in that universe is probably Cap or Thor. And I
good guy or bad guy? Because Thanos is like hands down, possibly my favorite character, dude. Oh, I love I love Thanos. I have an obsession.
I like him too. Did you read the Thanos Quest series yet?
No. Should I?
Go ahead and do that. It's great. It's great. It shows. I'm not even gonna say.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
You would love it. You would love it because you like. If you love Thanos, you should definitely.
Oh, I'll have to do that now.
You know, and he was like he's a huge reason. I mean, am I just going full? I'm going full spoilers with this. Does it matter?
Oh yeah. This is one of those movies.
It's been out a year.
Right,
yeah.
Knows, like this isn't even that Thanos that we had. Like it was a different Thanos technically than the first movie.
What do you mean?
Well,
what happened to the first Thanos?
First Thanos, you know, he got his head cut off.
What?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it because I read a lot about Thanos. Like I read some of the comics that he was in through the internet, and I was definitely intrigued by that guy. I still got some chocolate left.
He's still like a dog with peanut butter, like.
Yeah.
And just seeing that in movie form and having everyone love Thanos, like, you know, I loved him when he first came out. Well, not when he first came out. When I first heard of him, I guess, really. It's great. It's great to me, you know. We can all, you know.
We can all agree. We can all agree that those movies are great.
Everyone knows who he is. He's like Darth Vader.
100%.
Yeah.
You're right. That's a great analogy, Joe. I'd pound you, but we're not doing that right now with the whole...
We do
feet. Don't kick this camera. It's a good job. I like that. Was 3? It's a good 3.
That's all I really have to say.
All right. My number 3. Best Spider-Man movie to ever exist.
What?
Spider-Man 2. From the original Sam Raimi trilogy.
Whoa.
Sam Raimi.
Spider-Man 2 was phenomenal. It made me fall in love with Spider-Man. It made me fall in love with superhero films in general.
You're a Spider-Man fan?
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
I love that whole trilogy, honestly.
The whole trilogy is great, even with the third one. Even with the third one.
Shit on the third one. Like, I like the third one.
It's not as bad as everyone says it is.
Without the third one, we wouldn't have so many great memes, if you think about it.
No, you're 100% right.
You know?
And memes control the world. Yeah. Storks up.
Dr. Octopus was a fantastic villain in that movie. The fight scene on the train,
great.
Phenomenal. And I feel like I've said phenomenal many times this podcast, but it really was. It really was.
We're playing a game where if you hear phenomenal on this, take a shot. I know it's probably a little bit too late. You'd be blacked out by now, but starting now.
It was just such a good movie. Yeah. At the end, when it was revealed to Mary Jane that Spider-Man's Peter Parker, to Harry that Spider-Man's Peter Parker, like, those are some iconic scenes. That,
and you didn't think that was going to happen until later. And then when you found out in the second movie and you know there's another one, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
you know, like, yeah.
Right. Just such a good movie. I give so much props to Sam Raimi for that. The fact that he might be coming back, or I think he is coming back for Multiverse of Madness, I'm so excited for.
I think so, yeah.
I think he is confirmed for
which
that.
Is awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do my 1 and 2 combined, because if we didn't pick up on it, there may or may not have been talks about it already tonight.
Okay.
So Endgame is my number 2, and Infinity War is number 1. I 100% agree with you with the fact that Infinity War is better than Endgame.
Yeah.
That's hard for me to say, because I loved the conclusion of it. I loved watching everything that we wanted to happen finally happen, right? Mm-hmm. But, again, mind you, Infinity War finally set us up to a point where we didn't know what came next. Where everything else we could not guess around, but whatever. This was a point where we were finally walking. And if you can have me walk out of a theater with my jaw dragging behind me, dude, it's going to hurt. It's going to suck. It's going to sting. But, oh my God, after that, I remember like walking out and I like couldn't close my mouth. My girlfriend's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "You have no idea what's wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen." And thank God they planned it out so well and they only made it 1 year in between them.
Yeah.
Like, because if they had pulled some nonsense and made it like a 4-year gap,
that would have been killer.
Oh my God, I'd be dead. I'd be dead.
Yeah.
But oh, dude, they listen. Those movies pair so well together. That's why I put them at my 1 and 2. Like the fact that the finale is even in my top 5 goes to show how good it is.
Right.
Because, I mean, it just doesn't make sense that they're both that good. It does not, because when filmmaking, they always stumble. Someone always messes up. Continuity becomes an issue. This becomes an issue. For the most part, it just is all still so smooth, and it doesn't make sense. Why are there such good writers there?
You look at endings for several things. And
everything.
It's always split. It's mostly always split if people like them or not. I mean, Game of Thrones, mostly nobody liked it. But I'm sorry I even brought that up. But look at even video games, too. Like, I know Mass Effect, it was very split with the ending.
I would love Game of Thrones if they did it where the ending, spoiler alert, not spoiler alert, because it won't, if Dany died, but Drogon was alive? Drogon brings her to what's west of Westeros, where the dragons can reincarnate people because they have like the powers. That'd be the biggest plot twist ever. Then 5 years from now, they're like, surprise! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I don't think it was as bad as everyone thinks, but I definitely think it was bad. It was definitely not past a 7, but it wasn't a 5.
Yeah.
You know?
It was like a 6.2. But we needed that 9.
Oh, we needed a 9. 100%. But you saw with this season that they were cutting corners. Like, you knew it was going to happen.
2 seasons to finish it off. That's it.
Yeah,
just 8 and 9.
Yeah. No.
I get it. They didn't want to do 13 seasons like George R. Martin wanted. Like, I get it. But
it doesn't make sense
so
to me
much
why
there.
they didn't want to. Why would you not do that? Why would you not make 13 seasons of a show that makes you billions of dollars? Not billions,
They
probably,
wanted
but
to go do better things.
They wanted to do Star Wars, which guess what? Isn't happening.
I'm so happy,
yeah,
honestly, that they're not
that's what
happy with
happens,
Star
you
Wars.
losers. You pieces of garbage.
I was honestly so happy when I heard
Oh,
that.
I was celebrating in the streets.
It was great.
Oh, but whatever.
But you're right. You don't see that with a lot of things where the ending is just
Where it
phenomenal
says,
and everyone loves it, and it was just done perfectly. Well put together. Yeah.
That's mine. 2 and 1.
Do we even do I have to keep talking about it? Infinity War, because that's my number 2.
Just skip to your 1.
All right.
Infinity War was good.
It was great. I wish Gamora didn't die. I wish
Well, she's coming back now.
I wish half the population everywhere didn't get destroyed, but it was crazy.
Do you, though?
to watch. Oh.
I don't. I'm a sadistic man. No, I'm happy that they all died to make the second movie better.
Second movie, right? They died for.
But then they came back, so it's all good. And Gamora.
She was bad.
Okay, we could sacrifice her in Black Widow. Now we're gonna watch Black Widow, what she did in the past, and we're gonna love it, and we're gonna be like, I miss you, Black Widow.
Yeah.
And then it's boom, it's done. She's gone forever. Great. Give me new characters.
So, do you want me to go off to my number 1, or should Frank?
Just do your number
Alright,
1. Okay,
well,
so because we've talked about Infinity War so many times.
We talked about my number 1 too. I think was it your number 4, Dark Knight?
Green Lantern.
That.
Get out of here! You didn't say Green Lantern. It is Dark Knight.
What?
Luke almost brought me down. All I wanted to put it down.
I literally have it on my screen. You see this? My favorite movie. I wish I had kept the title that I looked up, worst superhero movies. That's literally what I looked up.
Was it that bad?
You've never seen Green Lantern?
Honestly,
No,
it
there's
was on,
no.
FX.
You've seen Green Lantern, right? Dude, it might be like a 6 out of 100.
Oh boy.
It is bad.
You know, so back to what
yeah.
I was saying, you brought me down a little bit. I was almost gonna put Dark Knight like somewhere else and just go, but Dark Knight really was that movie that, like, I love the Spider-Man movies.
So
which
surprised.
Is probably like my number 6, 7, and like no, maybe like my 7 and 8 would be the 2 Spider-Man movies, 1 and 2. But this movie, I feel like really got me into superhero movies,
Yeah.
which was Dark Knight. So it's my personal favorite, and I mean. You know, I loved all the characters in it. That, oh my god, that awful choice Batman had to take. You know, every scene had to make. You know, between Harvey and Rachel, and even though he,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't even have to say. We all know what happened.
Rest in pieces.
You know,
Chester cheese.
it's just I feel like a lot of people can almost remember like every single scene in that.
Yeah.
There is a lot. No, yeah, I mean,
It really.
I don't know anyone that even likes that movie remotely to the point where they would really obsess over it and thinks it's the best movie they've ever seen.
It's the best
No, you're
superhero
100% right. It is one of those movies that you can basically remember the whole way through, even if it, like me, it's not my number one, but I can probably remember more out of that movie than Infinity War and Endgame as of now, just because of the cultural impact that Dark Knight had.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Right.
dude, just it's a masterpiece. Again, it truly is. Nolan kills it. Surprise
Yeah.
there, right?
Yes.
No, Nolan's good at making movies.
Right, and you know, again, like Frank talked about the first movie in that trilogy. I feel like that was my.
Ooh,
I feel like
it's gonna be your third favorite. Yeah,
It was my third favorite, but that's
You're not woke, man. You're not woke,
I'm
man.
not. I'm not. What do you want me to say?
Go watch it
I'm
again.
so freaking out about coronavirus. Right
Oh my god.
It was so like 30 minutes ago.
Go
I thought
watch
we
it
were over
again.
that. But
Can't wait to watch that.
that movie. I mean, it's does it even. I'm trying to think of things I didn't like about that movie more.
There's nothing to not like about that
really
movie.
Liked everything. Like
No, there's
God.
everything in that movie is good. Literally
Joker
everything.
being so sadistic. Like obviously he was my favorite part about that.
Just
Not
he
obviously,
plays with
but-
Batman. Like that's
Yeah.
what's really cool about it is
Yeah.
the fact that he doesn't want he does not want to kill Batman. He wants
He loves it.
Like he loves the fact that Batman wants to kill him, can't kill him because of his moral compass, and the Joker's like, I'm just gonna kill everyone around you because I can, and you won't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
You know, like Commissioner Gordon, you know, Harvey, Rachel.
Yeah.
They were Harvey Dent, you know, great characters, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Darby Hent.
Darby Hent. I love Darby Hent's arc. It was great.
Darby Hent was the other side of his face.
Yeah.
Who needs Two-Face when you have Darby Hent?
Oh, man, it was a little. The only thing, I guess, it was a little unrealistic. His face. Harvey.
Oh, you're telling me a Batman movie was unrealistic? What?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was a little unrealistic.
But that's probably the
Yeah,
most
he's
realistic
talking-
that you could get with it, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a guy's face being gone, and
Yeah.
you're telling me unrealistic. We're living in a Batman universe,
Yeah.
dog.
God,
Right.
I feel like an idiot. I always feel like an idiot, but now I feel even more.
Just coming from the guy who forgot the main villain in a movie that was on his top 5.
I forgot.
It's like, oh, I couldn't remember who was the big purple guy in Infinity War.
Right.
He had this gauntlet on, this glove. His name was OJ, I think. It didn't fit him right. Like,
That was his name, right? Oh no! That's my boy. That was my boy, Magneto, right? He was the purple guy. What?
so I was talking.
Oh,
I was talking about Infinity War. I was making a Thanos
yeah,
joke.
isn't Magneto the purple guy?
Oh, God.
Jesus. All right, Frank, please go. Hurry, Frank. Frank, hurry.
My number 2 is Logan. I think it's
Yeah.
the best X-Men movie out there. Dark, gritty. Obviously, can't be too realistic, but it's realistic for what it is in a way. I think I said
No,
that right.
that's accurate. I know
You
exactly
know?
what you're trying to say, though. Yeah, it's definitely like a realist superhero movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
X-23, badass in it.
Sick.
I think the duo between Wolverine and X-23, just their actor chemistry
yeah.
that they had with each other was phenomenal. Professor X was also an excellent part in it.
Great.
When he was having those migraines and everything was freaking out around him, I thought they were great parts. And it was just a great send-off for Hugh Jackman. Like, this was a great way to, send him off.
A notorious career as a huge hero. Because even if you want to look back, X-Men wasn't great. Hugh Jackman was great.
Yeah.
So you're 100% right. 100% right.
He's like one of those staple guys like RDJ is,
Yep.
So I just thought it was a fantastic movie. The fact how they were showing how he was getting sick and how he's just very gritty and like mean now.
Yeah, he's an old, bitter man.
Yeah,
100% right.
Bitter.
He hates the world.
Yes,
yep.
Exactly.
How old is he in Logan?
105.
Honestly, he could actually be up there because of his superpowers.
Well, because he's been around. No, because wasn't he around during World War II or something like that?
Oh yeah, right, exactly. Around
Look
World
up
War
how
II.
old he was when he died in Logan, because I'm very intrigued now.
And Logan is like a pretty far time into the future.
Listen, if I got 105 right just off the top of my head, I'm going to play the lottery tonight because that's not a coincidence.
All right, so Logan takes place in 2029. It's saying just 6 years after Days of Future Past. I don't know how that's right, but the whole X-Men movie universe is always mixed up with the timeline.
So look up when he was supposed to be born.
All right, yeah, Logan, Wolverine.
I feel like he's in his 70s. But when did you say? You said he was in the...
I hope this doesn't give me...
Like the comic?
Yeah, that's what it's giving me.
Frank, what war did you say he fought in?
Oh, no. World War II he fought in. Actually, he fought in several wars, I'm pretty sure. But the 1880s, late 1880s, he was born.
He's older than
105. Yeah. Because if it was 1880 to 1980, just off the bat.
Yeah.
Damn.
100,
he's probably right. I just missed it.
100, like 30, though,
yeah.
Right?
Well, because you said 2030, basically. Yeah, so you're at basically 140.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's insane.
And think about it, if he wasn't getting sick in the movie, he could have been
he would have been
longer.
200, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, great movie. I could watch that anytime. My dad's not a big superhero movie except for the Dark Knight trilogy, but he watched Logan as well. And
Loved it.
He liked it too. I was like, yeah, you see, there are good ones out there.
There are some good ones. Yeah. I told you.
But that's all I'll say about that. My number one, The Dark Knight. Phenomenal movie. Probably the most realistic superhero movie out there. Not only is it my favorite superhero movie of all time, it's my favorite movie of all time. I think it's phenomenal. Joker kills it. Heath Ledger kills it. Easily the best part of the movie. Christian Bale still to this day, like we said before, still the best Batman to date.
100%.
I don't know if there will be a better one.
We'll see. We can deep dive hopefully when we get a trailer for this Batman.
Yes.
Once we get more content for it, then we can kind of be more picky.
Yeah.
Because right now, only got the bare minimum.
Yeah,
so,
not much to.
Because what we were talking smack on Birds of Prey, and I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Heard it was pretty good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
But yeah, Dark Knight was phenomenal. All of his gadgets, all of his tools.
Oh, sick.
Sick, and once again, had that realistic part
100%.
of it. His Batmobile was a damn tank.
Military
tank.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Well,
that Bat Pod, a real thing. A motorcycle.
When him and Morgan Freeman are talking about where he's getting it and about how it was all ex-military technology at one point and all that, that's another itty bitty part of the movie that most people probably had no clue about. But again, it goes into the fact that they're not just you're a billionaire, so you built this. It had a purpose.
Yeah.
Everything in that movie had a purpose.
Yeah,
and that's what makes it as perfect as you're saying.
It was so well crafted. Every scene just went with each other. It just got put together so well. Christopher Nolan is fantastic. I can't wait for his new movie Tenet that's coming out.
Yo.
He just makes everything great, and I wish he had involvement with the DC Universe movies that they've been making, because they would have been somewhat better. But at the same time, I'm glad he wasn't a part of it, because it would tarnish his thing.
100%. You don't want that. You don't want that because now he can sit there and be like, this is what I built. I had no affiliation with your version of it. I built this.
Yeah,
I built
exactly.
this dynasty.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't touch it. Facts.
It was fantastic. I think it got a lot of people even more on board with Batman. He was always a big figure, but these movies 100%.
That's definitely when the domino fell into making superhero movies, cool.
Yeah. Yes.
It didn't fully all go down at that point. Infinity War, in my opinion, is really the movie that fully blew the stack into all falling at one time.
Mm-hmm.
But Batman clicked it, and it very slowly was that from that point on, just like falling into the next one, having people go, okay, this is a little bit more pop culture based than dorky, nerdy thing. This is actually cool, you know, which made it that much better in my opinion.
One thing that could have done without was Batman's voice.
I am the darkness.
I kind of get where I kind of get where they were going with it, but at the same time, I do like the DCEU's Ben Affleck Batman's where it's the voice modifier.
Yeah,
and I mean that's a realistic way of doing it too. Like they could have done it that way, but I don't want to tarnish the film at all. It was phenomenal.
If that's your only nitty gritty part, then that goes to show why it's the kid's favorite movie. The only point he hated was his voice was bothersome.
Exactly.
Like that goes to show.
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's all I'll say about it. I thought it was phenomenal.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about this new Batman. Bag in there. That bat bike is corny as hell.
He's so mad. He's so mad. Look at how mad he is.
The Batmobile's looking cool. That bat bike, I don't know. His suit, I don't know what's on his arms. Yeah, the ears, I don't know what's going on with this.
Does he look like a classic Batman?
You haven't seen this?
He looks
Oh, man.
Right,
Why did you do this? Why did you do this? Look at the face of sadness.
I don't know what he looks like. That's the thing. Like, I guess it's cool that they're not basing it off like any comic. Really, I know it's like year 2 of Batman, and
it's more detective. I heard it's more of a detective.
I'm very
movie. I'm excited about that too because it's pre-gadgets.
Yeah.
Like it's pre-everything.
Yeah.
Like I want him to stumble. I want him to fall.
Oh,
because if there's one person that'll do a great job at it, it's Robert Pattinson.
Yes.
Will kill it at like a clumsy, not perfect, like not a perfect, because he's so good at playing that role of a really perfect person and then a not so perfect person. So I'm very excited to watch him like be in that role where he is falling, he's stumbling, he's getting cut, he's getting beat up in that way. And I'm excited to see who the villain is.
So Riddler, Catwoman, Penguin.
Oh goodness!
Listen, I'm liking.
Oh, Josh Gad is Penguin.
No, Colin Farrell is Penguin.
Right, I knew that.
I forgot who's playing Riddler. I forgot who's playing Catwoman.
I'll look that up. It's fine.
But everything else about this movie, I am looking forward to. The cast is great. The director who did the Planet of the Apes movies, great. Matt Reeves on board with that.
Let's go.
The only concern I have is this damn bat bike and his costume right now.
And his ears.
Yeah.
His ears.
I tried looking up his costume, but I feel like all these pictures were fake.
We'll send you.
They're like set photos. They aren't like
you have an
official pictures. No, he's got Android now.
It's gonna be an iPhone.
All right. Well, because we should be in a more religious group chat. We used to have it back where I would always hit you up and Joe was in it. Yeah. Joe will get it 4 days later and we'll be talking about something.
Yeah.
It's all good though. I'd rather be in communication that way because then we can. I mean, like me, because we used to do it all the time. I'll send you stuff on Instagram all the time, so it'd be easier to just send it right in there. And then Joe,
do you even use Instagram?
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
Google Doc, Google Drive, MySpace. What can I put you on my top 10?
I do have a MySpace.
Jesus. Oh man. Well, 30.
This was episode 30.
30.
Yeah. And many more to come. Hopefully we're all happy and healthy as we go forward with these.
If not, I'm going to be doing it in a mask whenever the next time we do one of these is.
Right. Worst comes to worst, we'll
I love the new Batman movie. I thought it was great. And I'll have different rooms in Frankie's house where we're just like communicating.
Yeah, right.
Maybe we should be the guys to invent designer masks. Well, not invent, but like.
Nope, that's been a thing. Trust me. I said that we should be the company to make sinks because they're telling you that you have to wash your hands longer, right?
Yeah.
So everyone's like giving songs to sing in your head, like happy birthday. We should make the sinks that don't turn off until the song finishes, but the music plays out of the sink.
That would be cool.
If you're watching this, I already patented it, so don't even try it.
It's a good idea. It's like the toothbrushes that play the
The
music.
tooth tunes or whatever they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a good idea.
Honestly, has nobody ever done that? I feel like that's something somebody.
I did. Me. It's my idea. But no, man, this is crazy. I'm so happy. 30 is down.
Yeah, right?
30, 100 more to go. You know, I'm excited to, I'm definitely excited to kind of, what I think would be like super cool, because I've been following it, obviously, just like life's been busy, but life's been crazy on my end. Continue with the culture of loving movies and stuff, and I love what you've been doing with getting other guests in here.
Oh yeah,
that's been sick. I've been loving watching. Just like, it's always good to like look. I mean, doesn't really matter about how much we are impacting at the end of the day. This could get 5 views, I wouldn't even care, because we want people to be looking at it, and as long as one person views it and likes it and takes something out of it, that's what we want.
It's rewarding.
So it's
rewarding.
super cool to watch that a lot of these people are getting exposure on a way that like they might not have. And then it's, you know, we're reconnecting with people we haven't talked to in a while.
Yes.
We're doing things where we're reaching out to people we've never talked to, but now we're getting their scope on things. So, you know, it's awesome, and I'm glad I'm back as your co-host.
Yes.
For whoever knows how long. Keep it a mystery.
More to come for sure, though. But that'll do it for us tonight. I would like to thank my co-host, as always, Luke Ganz. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
And I want to thank my cameraman, as always, Joe Critelli. Thank you for being here as well. And that'll do it for us. If you like this episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Also, follow us on Instagram at Podcast with Frank. We'll be putting up clips of all of our highlights of the podcast. And more Spotlight episodes and more movie topics to come. So we'll be here.
We'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Peace out.
See ya.
So, besides it sounding, you know, pristine, was there a different meaning towards the song when you were making it?
Not a different meaning, because the reason this is a good topic to hit too, because the reason I called it Contemplate was because, like I said before, was producers, every fucking producer you talk to or any artist you talk to, there comes a time where, you know, there's motivation, unmotivation.
Yeah.
And there is contemplation between, like, them contemplating, is this what I want to do? Is my art, whether it's drawing or just whatever their artistic form is, what they want to do? So when I was doing this song and I first started the song, I was at my desk and I was literally contemplating, like, fuck, is music what I should be doing? Second guessing myself, telling myself, fuck, I should be doing this. And then I was like, let me just finish this song. And then I finished it, and I was like, fuck, I should be doing this. I should be doing this.